say two other things that Ellsberg said today, which I thought were both provocative and interesting, and you weren't there, so, if you're blindsided by them, I apologize, and we can take our time working through them. But what he said was that he believes that there are literally thousands of people in the Pentagon and in the State Department who are aware that the plan for Iraq and Afghanistan is occupation that extends much further on from anything that Obama has said publicly. That Obama has accepted plans for extended occupations of troop levels in Iraq in the 30, 40, 50,000 troop area, and extended occupation of Afghanistan as well. Now, do you think that that's out of keeping with any kind of reasonable expectation? And if you want to stall, and we can talk about something else while you think about that.
No, I don't believe that Obama wants to keep a substantial troop presence in Iraq. I mean, I just would disagree with Mr. Ellsberg on that. I think when Obama went to Baghdad in the summer of 2008 during the campaign, I think that's probably one of the things that he got on with al-Maliki about, was that he felt, I think it's a moral thing for him, he thinks that the Iraq war was wrong. It's a diversion of resources that should be put to genuine U.S. security, and I think he wants out of Iraq.
A stupid war, as he said, yeah.
It's a stupid war. And, Bush was forced into this status of forces agreement, which has U.S. troops out by the end of 2011. Obama had said 2010, but the Iraqis voted for 2011. That was fine with him. So I think he and the Iraqis are on the same page. And I think if Obama tried to drag his feet substantially, and you had big bases, in the long term in Iraq, the Muqtada al-Sadr would just have them blown up. Because one of the things you have to remember, I mean, not you, but people have to remember.
No, I'll be the scapegoat. That's good.
No, I mean, I was just a turn of phrase. One of the things that should be remembered is that that when you get down to 50,000 troops, you're vulnerable.
Right. That was
it's not like having 160.
Well,
and so the more they withdraw, and they are withdrawing. I mean, they're down now to about 90,000. The more they withdraw, the more implausible a long-term presence becomes.
Right, and I think that's a very interesting argument because, of course, one of the things that Cheney said and Rumsfeld said, was that they were planning to leave that kind of force level, but that presumed a stable Iraqi government that was pro-American, and I don't see how that's a possible outcome.
Yeah, going into it in 2003, they hoped to have about a division in Iraq in the long term.
Right.
There were 3 divisions left in Germany at the fall of the Soviet Union, and they wanted to bring 2 of them back to the U.S. and take a division down to Iraq to do security for the Persian Gulf and the oil. So that was their hope. But once the insurgency got going and the civil war and all of the trouble we've seen, and then the obvious dislike of the Iraqi public for being militarily occupied, I think it's just become implausible to hope for that division staying there. Now, I should say that there will be U.S. troops in Iraq for a long time. For one thing, the Iraqis have no air force. Somebody's going to have to train their air force. Their equipment's not showing up, the helicopters and jets, until 2013.
One of my mantras is they got no armor and they won't be allowed to have armor.
No, they're starting to get armor.
They are. Really?
Yeah,
where are they getting it from?
They've deployed tanks and armored vehicles against the Sadrist militias.
Where they get
I don't know how they did it, but al-Maliki went around the U.S. and got some armor.
And not Iranian?
No, it's not Iranian. But to tell you the truth, Jay, there's a world market in military equipment.
Tanks? I didn't know that.
I'm saying even in tanks and things. And so the Iraqis, I think, are probably just buying this stuff and not paying attention to what the Americans want them to have anymore.
Cool. I feel better.
Yeah, no, they've got some armor and they'll have more. Actually, the Iraqi military, has started to congeal as a fighting force. I've talked to American officers who've been on patrol with them in Baghdad, and they say that they can now patrol independently. And this is not something they were saying 2 years ago.
That's wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful from the sense of there being some kind of stability there. I mean, it may not be what the U.S. wants, but...
Right. No, it's wonderful that, somebody could be left in charge as we go. So anyway, I disagree with Ellsberg about a long-term U.S. military presence of some size, division size, in Iraq. Obviously, there's going to be logistical people there. There's going to be special ops people there. There's going to be Air Force people there, probably for a decade, but not in large numbers. I don't accept that. And with regard to Afghanistan, I think Obama believes that he has a responsibility to end the Taliban and to stand the place up as a stable place before he gets out. He does want to get out, and he's indicated that when he said he wants to start withdrawing in 18 months. But I think that he's bought a line from these more gung-ho officers that it is possible to stand it up and then leave. And that I worry about.